Taylor Swift becomes the youngest woman inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame at age 36. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share New York app. Taylor Swift became the youngest woman ever inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame Thursday night at age 36. It was instinctual. No one taught me how to do it, she said of songwriting through a raspy voice she attributed to screaming along to the night's performances and Wednesday night's historic NBA game between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. She told the room about her family uprooting their lives to move her from Pennsylvania to Nashville, Tennessee, as a tween. "I will never be able to express my gratitude," the singer-songwriter said while holding back tears, crediting their sacrifice for her career. She offered young songwriters advice. "You really have to prioritize what you love, down to your very core, because you'll need that." Steven Spielberg introduced Swift with a surprise speech about the power of songwriting. "There is something undeniable about how songs imprint on our souls," he said, before changing his focus to Swift. "Somehow Taylor knows us all too well." Swift started her speech by acknowledging Spielberg. "Because of examples like Steven's, I trusted my imagination," she said. The Gen Z singer-songwriter launched Swift's segment by performing Cardigan and Dear John in front of her. Swift has brought new eyes to this year's ceremony and undeniably shaped contemporary pop music trends with her songwriting. Swift is the youngest woman inducted, but Stevie Wonder, who started his recording career at 13, was the youngest ever inducted, it was announced on stage. It was a notable moment in an evening full of them, where Swift, Kiss Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, Christopher "Tricky" Stewart, Alanis Morissette, Kenny Loggins and more were honored. Read more. A night of celebrating songwriters. Tamar Braxton opened the gala at the Marriott Marquis Hotel in New York City with a spirited tribute to a new inductee, the game-changing R&B songwriter, producer and rapper Christopher "Tricky" Stewart, with one of the biggest songs he's known for, Beyoncé's "Single Ladies." He's also responsible for singer-songwriter Rihanna's "Umbrella," Mariah Carey's "Touch My Body," and Justin Bieber's "Baby." Dallas Austin, a songwriter and producer known for work with Boyz II Men and Madonna, introduced Stewart. "Think about that catalog," he said, listing off those zeitgeist-shifting records. "Those are cultural moments." Stewart thanked God, his family, artists he's worked with and mentors, giving a special shout-out to Grammy Award-winning music producer Antonio L.A. Reid and the iconic singer-songwriter Babyface. "I wanted to be like L.A. and Baby," he reflected. Kiss founders Simmons and Stanley, 2.5 years after the band's farewell, were also recognized for their glam rock classics Rock and Roll All Night and I Love It Loud. The Smashing Pumpkins' Billy Corgan covered the former, a fittingly fiery introduction for the band. He was joined by Goo Goo Dolls frontman John Rzeznik for the latter. Simmons wasn't present. Stanley said that he had a family emergency. "Songs are the messenger," he said, "the foundation of every show." Soft rock legend Kenny Loggins' "Footloose," Danny's Song, and the alt-rock icon Morissette were also inducted. For the latter, Brandi Carlile performed uninvited alongside Sister Strings before introducing Morissette. "Writing to me is not a hobby," Morissette said. "It's critical. It's write or die." Then she performed Mary Jane, and You Ought to Know from her 1995 album Jagged Little Pill. For Loggins, Gavin DeGraw performed Danny's Song, before Loggins told the story behind the tune in his acceptance speech. Acknowledging writers and their hits, Taylor Dayne and Madison Cunningham performed Tina Turner classics written by Terry Britten and Graham Lyle in honor of their induction. John Fogerty was honored with the Johnny Mercer Award. "I got my songs back," Fogerty said, ending a nearly 30-minute speech, referencing the fact that he won the rights back to his catalog at age 80. Then he ran through a medley